It's the Sittin Sportside podcast.
Can't wait.
With Mike James.
Come on, man.
Matt Hogan.
It's going to be wait for it, legendary.
And Eric Hanman.
I have dedicated my life to this team, okay?
On 1045theteam.com.
And welcome into the podcast. I'm Eric Hanman along with Mike James and Matt Hogan. January 20th, 2017. No, wait. Yeah, 20th.
Yeah,
20th.
Yeah. Happy Inauguration Day, people.
Yeah.
We won't get into that.
We're not a political podcast, but we'll. I actually had something to say on that. It was like, no, I'm going to move on.
We'll get into politics, but you had something to say.
Yeah, well, all right, so.
We got to talk about the playoffs.
Yeah, usually we're more of a recap into the season, but, it's a little too late to recap. I was upset about that Chiefs game. Not gonna get into that. Let's go into the Steelers game now.
The 2-point conversion make you mad?
I was more upset about the fact, you've heard of sports talk radio this past week, that
There's such a thing in the world.
Trying to make it, man. Trying to make it in that world.
Trying to make it there.
But no, I'm talking about the sense of what people are saying that, yes, it was blatantly a hold, but in that point of the game, should you call it? I go even further in saying that was there on that 3rd and 2 play, same amount of yards to seal the deal to Antonio Brown. Probably not a blatant hold on that play, but could there have been a hold that the refs decided to call on that play? Did the Chiefs get the ball back and possibly get 3 points to win it? But that's just whatever.
There's holding on every play. It's just a matter of whether or not it's called.
Mike, you're just making my point now, I'm saying. So now it's 3rd and 2. Steelers have a chance to clinch the game, just like the Chiefs had a chance to tie the game, which they did. They called the penalty on that one. And what you're saying is there is holding on just about every play. They don't call it on the Steelers. Steelers seal the deal.
The NFL obviously want Pittsburgh to win, in my opinion.
I just thought, in my opinion, it was just so blatant. You can't not call it.
I think
Harrison chokeslammed the guy to the ground. You have to call that.
I think he was following him back, and Harrison slipped, and it looked like more of a takedown. I don't think he actually took him down, though.
It was close.
Besides the point of where we're going to start the show off, even though we're about 2 minutes in at this point, Championship Sunday coming up.
We got a recap from our picks. So me and Mr. Mike
pretty
James
much eliminated.
That's part of the reason why I'm a little salty right now.
Me and Mike James went 3-1 again this week.
Yep.
And Eric
Cowboys.
Went 2-2, so it was the same for both.
It's
weeks.
admirable.
Yeah.
It's just
I was the only one that took the Steelers this week, wasn't I?
you were.
As
I was the only one to take my Packers.
Yeah. It's a good thing I didn't go with the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah,
remember?
talk
I
about
was
that?
thinking about it.
You were thinking you wanted them. That was a good non-pick there.
Talk about how horrible though that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Break the rules.
The reason I wanted the Seahawks in that one, is because I was thinking I could need to pick up a game on you guys.
Yeah.
And that was maybe a little too early to think about that. Good thing I didn't do it then.
Because you would definitely be eliminated.
Yeah, now I'm going to have to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you guys, pick these games first so I can maybe adjust it. Because honestly, if I had to pick these games, I would. But I'm I could see them going either way personally. So I'm ready to hear what you guys think and make my official picks after that.
Now, should we get into the top quarterbacks I wanted to bring up?
Oh, you want to do that first?
I kind of want to do that first because I want to see how that affects your guys' picks for who you pick, to win each game. Because I have a feeling after you think about that.
I wish I made it a disclaimer because I want to make a disclaimer that I'm probably going to have some implicit bias.
All right. I will go first.
So, little description. So, basically, there's 4 quarterbacks left, obviously. We got Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, and Matt Ryan. I want you guys to rank them 1 through 4, the best quarterback left.
You can't do it, man.
I'm talking best. In my opinion, this is who would you want as your starting quarterback tomorrow?
Oh,
well, no, Sunday. Today's Friday.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
On Sunday, who would you want?
all right. I'll go first.
Name them off.
I'll take Mr. Deflated Balls first. Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
I'm a Jets fan. It pains me to say that, but his track record's too impressive. Then Rodgers.
What track record? What has he done?
Oh, 4 Super Bowls.
Okay.
My
bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's basically all.
Then I'll take Rodgers because he's Aaron Rodgers. Then Big Ben because he's got a couple Super Bowls now. He's in there. He's got at least one.
He's got two, man.
two,
Two
yeah.
and 3 appearances.
Yeah. And then Matt Ryan, and it's tough to put Matt Ryan fourth only because he hasn't really proven himself yet in the playoffs. Otherwise, if we were talking regular season, I'd rank him higher. But right now, I go Brady, Rodgers, Big Ben, Ryan.
Yeah, I can piggyback off that.
For this year.
Yeah. You're talking about Matt Ryan, you'd have him higher because you're basing it just on regular season.
Yeah.
Now, are you the same as Mike there?
No,
You
man.
got a couple different.
I'm piggybacking off it because the best quarterback 2016, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's my number one right now.
He's your number
He's
one
my
guy.
number one.
He's your NFL
You want me
MVP,
to pick
by
who
the
I
way.
want for tomorrow?
Yes.
Or Sunday, whatever.
Sunday. Who you want this week?
I want Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
Who has the most to prove? Matt Ryan. Who's had, I think, statistically the best season this year, and because of one of the other guys,
You want to ask
and how great he has been in the last 8 weeks, but what he's done has overshadowed what Matt Ryan has done in the same time period, and he's actually done it for a longer. You know, I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers has been, he went through downs. I don't think Matt Ryan had his downs this year.
I think Matt Ryan should be the MVP.
And because the game was close, Aaron Rodgers had to make a great throw to win it. Matt Ryan's game wasn't even close. He won that game. He won that game in the third quarter. It was over. So he didn't have to play heroics to get this big name in the media.
Might be the MVP too, just like you said.
He should be.
So
I'm going Matt Ryan
Matt
one.
Ryan number one. So
I'm going Matt Ryan one.
Already different right here. Okay.
I have a hard time putting differentiating 2 and 3 because they're pretty even to
Matt
me.
Ryan one, and then now you have to choose between. I'm guessing
that's
Brady or
tough.
Rodgers.
Yeah,
Between two and
that is what I'm
three.
deciding. That is what I'm
But I mean,
deciding.
let's think about this either way. I mean, right now, if you had to pick 4 quarterbacks in the whole entire NFL, aren't those the 4 you would want? I would personally. Right now, I think it's the right.
If I'm
4.
picking quarterback and not contract, Andrew Luck would be in there for me. And fully healthy, not the contract, Andrew Luck would probably be in there for me personally. Anyway, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna put, because of what I just alluded to before, and Aaron Rodgers, I'll put him 2, Brady 3, and Roethlisberger 4. That's me.
I like it. Different.
See, we got to be different on this show.
So
I had to.
Hold on,
so I
Eric.
had to agree with Mike. It would have been the same thing.
I'm gonna have a moment here. I think Hogan's gonna pick Rodgers number 1. What do you think?
No, I think he's going Brady. I just have this feeling that he's going to go Brady. He loves his teams. Like Hogan loves his teams, but he at the end of the day won't have. I feel like he's probably the least biased. I probably let my mind into this one. That's probably I picked Ryan. This was in my head a little bit, so I really wanted to pick Matt Ryan. I do believe it. I do personally believe it, but maybe there's a little bit of
by the way, I owe you
bias.
$5.
tumor around my brain.
Yeah,
because Des Bryant did not drop the.
Oh yeah. If anything, he had the game of his life.
Yeah.
I said to him, I was watching the game with a bunch of friends. I'm going, Des, you're supposed to drop him. Anyways, go ahead, Hogan.
I think and once again, I gotta clarify for myself about me. Like, that is what I believe. I just know that a lot of people, if anyone listens to this podcast and they follow at EricH1045, they will come at me hard, but be like, that's just ridiculous. And you can put me in my place too. I would love it.
He's probably the MVP of the league, and we're talking this year too.
Right, I'm not talking about straight postseason success. I'm talking about where we are this season. And obviously Brady and Rodgers got all this hype because they were, Brady comes back after the 4-game suspension and they've won so many games in a row to end the season. Same thing with Rodgers, and then Rodgers just kept going in the playoffs. Matt Ryan gets lost in the fray, and then that team at the whole got lost in the fray too. That's why I felt like I needed to stand up for Mr. Ryan.
Stand up for him.
And guess what?
Well, all the Matt Ryan fans, please stand up.
I don't want to keep. And Mike James almost didn't. But I don't want to
stand. Let's be serious.
I don't want to take away from your time for your good quarterbacks. But real quick, we're talking about. We were talking about this morning on Big Board Sports. They were bringing up Matt Ryan and his road to Canton and whatnot, and talking about how many years he has left, and kind of it's similar. And it's kind of interesting to think this: him and Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers, have been starting since the same year. Because Matt Ryan started as a rookie, and that was the year Brett Favre leaves.
He's
the
obviously
Packers.
Younger though.
He's younger. He's 2 years younger. You got Rodgers at 31, I believe, and Ryan's at 29.
29, yeah.
Basically, what I'm trying to say here is they've had the same amount of years as starting quarterback. It's kind of interesting to think that, Matt Ryan's going to have what we think. Obviously, you don't know what's going to happen. More years starting, whose career might be better in the end, him or Rodgers? It's interesting to think about.
It is. He's still younger, and it's same amount of experience. The worst part is you're going to get people that go strictly off Super Bowls.
Right.
So that could be a shame.
Right.
I think it factors in, but Matt Ryan, if say he ended up with 3 Super Bowls somehow, Rodgers ends up with only 1 or 2.
Right.
There will be people that say that Matt Ryan is better, even if the numbers aren't.
Well, you have people saying that Aaron Rodgers isn't going to officially be elite until he wins the second one.
Yeah, which is insane, which is ridiculous. But to go into my top picks, if I had to pick a quarterback to go Sunday, I'm going Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, there's a surprise.
It was hard to think. It was hard, though. It was between him and Brady.
Mike was right.
Yeah.
Keep your $5, Mike.
It's not a Packer bias, though. I'm strictly going off who I'd want to start in a playoff game tomorrow, as hot as they are, with the weapons he has.
I will back you on this. Is Brady number 2 for you?
I'm still,
because
maybe.
because I was going to say because it's a close. Brady and Rodgers are close for me.
Oh yeah, you can
hands down.
Yeah,
close.
I mean they're right there. And the way I look at it is Rodgers is playing with Devontae Adams, who's been really good this year.
I think out this week. It sounds like
he's
Devontae.
Oh
man.
What I heard was Mr. Clayton was on, not on our show.
Sean Clayton,
NFL Insiders. It looks like he's going to play, but it's not going to be near 100%. So he's going to be playing limited, which is scary to an already limited wide receiver core. That's why I'm picking Aaron Rodgers. He's throwing to guys like Jared Cook, who, he's Jared Cook.
Geronimo Allison.
Geronimo Allison.
Who?
Exactly. Aaron Rodgers makes him somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. Randall Cobb has been awful this year
Jared
until that Giants
Cook
game.
Wasn't awful in St. Louis.
He didn't have a quarterback. I give you that. But this is my point now. Rodgers is out without Jordy Nelson.
I think Jordy's playing.
No.
What?
Did they officially announce it?
It's a very long shot. He's got broken ribs and he's battling a cold.
Flu.
So that makes it. I mean, I couldn't even imagine trying to breathe.
I mean,
inhale.
It's the flu gate with the Patriots.
The flu gate.
Phil Belichick is
not to get off topic, but the Steelers do have the flu apparently in that
Phil Belichick or
Phil
whatever.
Belichick. But yeah, I'm going Aaron Rodgers. I think the weapons he has, it's very limited, and what he's able to do, especially with his legs too. I mean, the guy is just amazing. It's I'm also a Packers fan, so I'm happy he's on my team. Number 2 this year, I'm actually going Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Tom Brady
some
or
company.
him.
Yeah.
I feel like you could flip a coin.
Was it? Did I do anything, or was this?
I was going over in my head, and I'm thinking this year who would
and then
I
you
want?
were like, wow, my co-host is very.
He's very
intuitive,
persuasive. He's very persuasive with this. But no, Matt Ryan he's done it without Julio this year a couple times too. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing. He's doing it with guys like Taylor. I mean, he's got a plethora of weapons.
I mean, Mohamed Sanu is not a terrible wideout.
No, not at all. But again, he's playing. He just beat the Seahawks, who we could argue was the best defense left in the playoffs.
Without Earl Thomas,
and he did that pretty easily.
Yeah.
That was a beating. Mm-hmm. And Matt Ryan led that.
Yeah, I was happy. I hate the Seahawks personally. I hate Pete Carroll, so good.
It's nice to see new teams in there. But no, I think Matt Ryan this year. I'm going Matt Ryan. He's playing at MVP level. I'm not saying it, all time or anything.
Who would have thought that we both would have had Brady 3 or less?
And who would have thought the Jets fan would pick Brady on top? I changed my mind.
I'm a Jets fan though too. So anyway,
I think Mark Sanchez.
And now
your 3 was Ben, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We have to remember too. The Patriots, they've only faced like 4 real
good teams,
tough tasks this year. Yeah.
The Houston Texans in the playoffs.
There was some trouble there. Houston Texans have a good defense though, but there was some trouble. That offensive line was.
Will Fuller cost the Texans that game. Brock Osweiler made the best throw of his entire life. He hit him right where he should. Drops the ball. I think hands down cost him the game.
What about and no kickoff return for touchdown? Like special teams step up.
Yeah, but even then, we're talking Tom Brady. I mean, he didn't play horrible. He has played very good this season. Mm-hmm. Like he's also in the MVP.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But if you ask me though, my rule is if you get suspended, like Le'Veon, you could make the argument Le'Veon should be MVP.
The Mike James rule.
The Mike James rule.
To me, you have to play a full 16 games. That's the way it should be. You could
argue that.
So
here's the thing too, Brady also
is this just NFL or is this for all sports?
I think all sports. If you get suspended, you should be automatically eliminated from.
But for like basketball, you get suspended one, or you get two. So DeMarcus Cousins, like what if he's not having an MVP season? He gets 16 technicals. He's out one game.
Well, I mean,
you're talking about
all right, lengthy suspension.
Lengthy suspensions.
We'll go lengthy. Lengthy.
So like 30 games.
Yeah.
Free.
In NBA,
for baseball.
At least 3 in the NFL.
Gotcha.
Obviously, 50 in baseball, you have no shot.
Right.
Unless you just hit a home run every.
Unless those steroids actually worked.
Yeah. Punch. Sorry. Next.
Brady.
Oh, so you're mad about punch? Well, I don't know if we're gonna get to that in this podcast, but
The best teams Brady's faced this year: Miami, Denver, Baltimore, Seattle,
Yeah, but they
Pittsburgh without Big Ben,
Without Big
Landry
Ben.
Jones,
Landry Jones. Yep.
and then Houston in the beginning of the year. I know he wasn't even playing that
Yeah, it
game.
was
That
Jacoby Brissett. Yep.
I'm not saying Tom Brady can't do it because he's done it, but he hasn't
Right.
shown me. He has shown me enough against bad teams, and then that Houston game kind of terrifies me. So I am going Big Ben, number 3.
He did the
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going Big Ben now.
Hey now.
Yep, and I think this might sway me overall for my picks later, but we'll get into that in a minute. But I'm going Big Ben number 3,
We both.
and then
We all have different number ones, and we all have different
yeah,
number
all different. And I'm going Brady 4.
4s.
We're
Yeah,
all-
that's crazy.
We actually, I don't think we agreed on any number, did we?
Me and Hoagie both had. No, we didn't.
No, you had Matt Ryan first. I had
Oh,
second.
we have Ben 3.
Ben 3.
There you go. Yeah, that was it. That
So
was
that's
it.
the only one. Me and Mike had Ben 3, but if I have a game tomorrow, I want Big
Wait,
Ben.
you had Rodgers too.
Oh yeah, I did. Have
Yeah, so me and you have.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Anyway,
So
Wow.
that's the top 4. A little
but that just goes to show you the quarterback play left in there, where
Oh,
the
it's
opinions
amazing. You
actually
can't really-
can change.
you
Like,
can't have a wrong
Like
one.
last week, I wasn't gonna say, oh yeah, Brock Osweiler was better. We
Yeah.
were gonna have probably Brock 8 or So
yeah, he was
I would
up
put
towards the end.
Brock like 39th.
Put
I would've took
Savage above
everybody-
him?
Took everybody else that isn't in the playoffs above Brock Osweiler.
All right.
that leads us to the games themselves, which I'm gonna sit back and relax for a little bit and
Enjoy
let
the
you
ride
guys
for a
talk about it a
second.
little bit.
Oh no, I think Eric should go first.
So let's start with the NFC.
Okay.
My Packers going into Atlanta. By
Going
the
to
way,
Atlanta. I actually have a soliloquy about the game. If you
I
want me
almost
to
went to
be
the
honest.
game. I was almost going to go to the game.
Really?
Yes. My
Yeah.
buddy is a Falcons fan.
Yeah,
Then
He
I asked
texted
Hogan to
me-
work for me Sunday. I'm just kidding.
He texted
Yeah.
me.
Well, I'd rather watch
Going
the
to
Albany
the
game
prices.
anyway, to be honest. So
Oh, you wanna work?
just kidding. Okay.
He went through the prices, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh man, I could.
Playoffs.
Not that
could
bad.
do this.
Georgia Dome's last game.
That's exactly. It's the last game, no matter what, win or lose for
The
them.
Mercedes-
He's an Atlanta fan. I'm a Green Bay fan. But you know what? I got a
Mercedes-Benz
banquet
Stadium.
that Sunday. It's gonna be a good time, good party.
Yep.
I'll watch it on the big screen. Won't get beat up by any Atlanta fans. It would
Might
be
get
great
beat
to
up by a
see.
Jets fan in the studio today, though.
Yeah, good. Now, even though I said Aaron Rodgers is my number 1 quarterback, and I'm a Packers fan,
Oh gosh,
Uh-oh.
don't do it to me, man.
I don't see the Packers going in there and outscoring Atlanta.
Wow.
I just don't. I hope they do, but Atlanta, how are you going to cover Devontae Freeman in the backfield? Then when he's not in there, Tevin Coleman, if they put both of them out there, that's a nightmare. Julio is looking like he's going to be a full go, according
Which
to
is
the coach.
scary.
Yeah, so he should be fine.
Yep.
How do you? Des Bryant had 140 yards last week or something
Yeah.
like that. I think Julio's better than Des, and I think Matt Ryan and
You
him.
think?
I'm just
You think?
but that
Hey,
it goes to
calm
my
down, Mike.
point, right? Julio is
a
going to
figures.
dominate.
Do we need to look up their stats? It's
No,
not
Mike.
even close.
Well, obviously, but we could both. They're both in the top 10 wide receivers, so there's not like that much of
No,
a.
not in my book. Dez is not even close to a top 10 wideout in my book. No. No.
Oh my gosh, I don't think.
No.
All right, let's revisit this after we make
This
our
is-
picks because I want to go
No,
more
there's
into
nothing to
this.
revisit. He's off.
Top 10.
I hate Dez. Hate him. I
Next
don't.
show, I want
Hate
all
is
10
different,
receivers
though.
who are better than him. And
Yeah,
if you want,
next
if you
show.
want to
Maybe
extend
10?
it,
I'll give you 10.
yeah, next show. We'll do it for
Okay.
next show. All right.
Okay.
All right, but so I'm going Atlanta. I think it's gonna be a high scoring affair. I love the way Rodgers playing. Devontae Adams gonna be hurt though. He's gonna be playing at limited capacity. Atlanta at home. It's their last dome game there too. Atlanta beat them earlier in the season too. Let's not forget about that. I'm taking Atlanta. I think their defense is a little better than Green Bay.
I agree. I think too much Julio.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Before I make my selection, I gotta go. I don't know. This
You
is
have to
not
go
direct-
against your number 1.
This is no. Well, I might have to because I gotta do the numbers in my head. But
You're
I
down
want
two.
to. This isn't directed at you per se, and it's I call Matt Ryan the best, but I think the media is just. And this is what I was talking about at the top of the podcast. And I was thinking like trying to compare something to Trump. I'm gonna like take a page out of Trump and like go at the media right now, sports media. All right,
okay.
That's my connection. So I'm making the connection. There we go. Here we go. I think the media is like totally building this up for another Aaron Rodgers. Like
Super Bowl.
This guy is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're just gonna be like, all we're gonna hear on Monday is just some like. Oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Like that's all we're gonna hear on Sports Talk Radio, and the media is like setting that up. And by that I mean, who the heck was talking Atlanta Falcons before the playoffs? Anyone talking about this Atlanta offense so good? They're a Super Bowl team. I still think no one's talking about them. They're for 4 teams left. Still think no one's talking about them. But yeah, all of a sudden now that we have to talk about them, everyone's talking about. Oh, I don't see how the Packers can win this game. And then when they do it, it's like, oh, look at them beating one of the best teams of all time, the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, I'm not saying that's what they're saying.
But that's what it's kind of set up for.
They're kind of building it up for Aaron Rodgers to be this, oh, wow, he beats the Giants at home. He goes into Dallas to beat Dallas, and he goes in to beat that all-time great Falcons offense and outduels them. But, like, where were people talking about this Falcons team before all of a sudden?
It's all...
You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're just building it up to once again being, Rodgers,
The NFL wants the biggest quarterback.
Everyone knows Joe Buck wants to be with Aaron Rodgers the rest of his life.
Oh my God! Can somebody please just fire Joe Buck? I mean,
see, I enjoy it because all the compliments he gives Aaron Rodgers. I'm a Packers fan. I'm like, you're right, Joe.
But no, I mean, is there anybody more annoying?
I want to clear something up
before
Joe listens to this and absolutely hates me.
Good.
I want to clear something up with Joe. I think a lot of the things you do say drive me nuts sometimes. But I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change Joe Buck.
I like listening to him. I actually like Joe Buck. Yeah, I like Joe Buck.
I think it probably drives him crazy that that he can't do anything right. But that's part of the job description in a way, and I wouldn't change it about him. To be honest with you,
do you know there's been 2 petitions.
Would you change Chris Collinsworth?
Oh my God, yes, I would. I would rather listen to nails across a chalkboard than
I take
Chris
offense to
Collinsworth.
that. I met Chris Collinsworth.
Did you really?
Swear to God.
I met someone who didn't know he was a former player.
It was for 10 minutes.
Is he as big of a tool bag as he looks like?
No, he's the nicest dude in the world.
Whoa.
He's awesome.
The guy is a terrible commentator.
Well, I wish I was as terrible as him.
Okay, here's the one thing
I love listening to him.
If I have a bone to pick with Chris Collinsworth, week 16, Thursday Night Football, Sterling Shepard gets blatantly held by the Eagles. It's like the last play, like the most important play of the game. He says, well, it's the last play of the game. Anything goes. And then the 2-point conversion happens. Like, you know what? He agrees with the call, but the holding call. Whoa. That's the same type of play in the game. Why are you switching sides now, man?
See, to me, Collinsworth just makes stupid points at the worst times.
I'm going to drop this quick story on you, how I met him. Okay. So I went to school at Coastal Carolina, and I'm flying home for winter break. And the Myrtle Beach Airport is now, they just redid it and everything and all this construction. And there's always these connecting flights, and usually to Atlanta, Charlotte, wherever. So I'm sitting there, and there's only like 7 people in the airport. I'm sitting there just hanging out, headphones on. I look across from me, probably 15 feet away, and I see him. And I'm like, there's no way that's him. So I'm like looking up on my phone, and he's sitting next to a lady. So he goes to the bathroom, and I'm like looking on my phone, pictures, and I'm like, that's his wife. That's definitely her. So what I did was I went up to his wife. I said, how you doing? I'm a big fan of your husband. Like, I didn't want to annoy you guys. Blah, blah, blah. I'm a Packers fan. Love watching Sunday night games. Mm-hmm. She was like, oh, yeah, he'll appreciate that. So I went back down and sat down. He came back from the bathroom, and his wife told him. He came over, started talking to me for a good 10 minutes before his flight. He was the nicest guy in the world. He was talking about Packers, Brett Favre. Like,
I got no problem.
I'm
not with Mike on that, but
I don't have a problem with him.
But it was just a really. He was actually flying to Atlanta. I can't remember for what. It wasn't actually football related, but he was flying. That was his connecting flight. But it was just so cool because there was no one in the airport. There was like 10 people total. I was the only one to notice it was him.
All right. Since we're talking
I'm the reason the Red Sox won the World Series in 2013, so you can thank me because
I was the reason in 04. Okay,
I saw John Lester at a Nordstrom's in Natick, I believe, in that area during the All-Star break, and I didn't say anything to him.
You didn't say anything to him.
I didn't say anything to him because I didn't really know it was him. And I was like, and then I was like, I don't really want to like. It was All-Star break. You know how people have vacation. You're like, you don't really want to bother someone during their vacation. And I was like, whatever. Looked up, and it was one of those same things too. I was like, is that him? And I look up, and I'm like, he's got a wife who's pregnant and a little boy. Well, the wife's sitting there pregnant, a little boy. But like he looked at me like he saw me looking at him like as if he knew that I recognized him.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I'm gonna win a World Series because I need to prove this.
Because I need to prove that.
I think I was wearing a Yankee hat. I think I actually was wearing a Yankee hat.
Since we're talking about meeting celebrities like that,
dude, that's the segment we're at
Mike
right
Fierce?
now.
Okay.
We're totally off kilter right now, but we're going for
we
it.
need to go into it.
this is even cooler. All right. I went to Belmont
I don't
Park
like the way you just trumped our stories.
in October. Okay. It was one of the biggest races at Belmont in the fall championship meet. There's this horse named Syndergaard Racing. And yes, it is named after Noah. And all I hear is, oh, Noah's here. Noah's here. I'm like, I don't doubt he's really here. I swear to you, I was standing in the paddock. I turned around. Everybody darts off. Here comes Noah Syndergaard. I was 10 feet from Noah Syndergaard. Coolest moment ever.
Ever?
And he's huge in person. And
bigger than me. Just kidding.
I got maybe one more better story, and this is what I'll leave.
And there's another one of the other young guys was, I can't think of his name.
From the Mets?
Yeah, another one. It wasn't DeGrom or
Harvey.
Matz or Harvey.
Was it like Logan Verrett?
No, it was one of the other young pitchers that just came up this year. I know I just can't think of his name.
Yeah.
He was there. It was cool.
That's
yeah, they
awesome.
were so out of left field. The new ones that came up this year that I'm just losing it.
I gotta look up
Lugo? Seth Lugo?
No, it was a pitcher.
That is a pitcher.
No.
I might have one last better one. So
okay.
in high school,
All
we had there was this foundation. It was for cancer, and Scott Van Pelt from ESPN.
You sure it was the real Scott Van Pelt?
It was. He showed up at the A.
I met Kenny
he has
Mayne,
got that
too.
segment and like where in the world is
Scott Van
Scott Van
Pelt came. Maryland's coach back then came.
Okay, fine. It was a Maryland thing. It was Scott Van
It
Pelt.
was
I get it.
it was awesome. He was such a nice dude, and he thought at the end of it, he goes over, he's shaking everybody's hand. He comes up to me, thinking I was like one of the people there that was like it was for.
Okay.
He goes, oh, hey, anytime you want to talk, he's shaking my hand, and I'm like so like star shocked, like what? Like Scott Van Pelt,
Dude,
like
that
and
happened
I
to me with
realized
Kenny Mayne one day. I was like, dude, you're Kenny Mayne. I was like,
well, me
Yeah,
and the
the
rest of the
horse- he's
basketball
a big
team
horse racing
realized
guy, right?
we realized he thought I was completely somebody else.
Yeah.
And then he left, and I'm like, oh, I feel bad for
But what was it for?
But it was he was there just supporting the cause.
Okay.
In the end, it was him. Syracuse's coach
So
Jim was there.
not to be insensitive, but it was like could have been something for cancer. He thought you were someone that
yes,
had cancer.
it was a buddy of mine, and I think
Coaches
I
versus
think he
cancer,
realized
maybe?
who it was
Gotcha.
because I think that buddy of mine is still in contact with him for his multiple, beneficial charities he does now. But it was a pretty
Nice.
cool moment because Scott Van Pelt,
Yeah.
he's a man.
Yeah.
oh, and it was Gesselman. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
That was.
Oh, Giselman.
Yeah, that too.
Robert Giselman. Yeah. He has long hair as well. Yeah. Nice.
So to segue back in,
Back
me and
to
Mike
football.
took Atlanta. Eric, you didn't really make a pick yet.
I did not.
I think he's gonna go with the
He's going Green Bay.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers for
Tampa Bay
Ghazi
Buccaneers.
I feel like we shouldn't have done NFC first now. Because
You want to go?
I have no
Atlanta.
idea. I know Mike. I know I think Mike is taking for the AFC, but you're just like
I'm a wild card,
a
baby.
wild card right now. So like
Woo! Gonna get some go-cuts.
I know if I side with you guys, which I really want to do in my heart of hearts, I know that if you pick the opposite of Mike, then I'd still have a chance one way or other to at least tie after the Super Bowl if I go against whatever that same person says.
This is true.
So we're still waiting.
This is a big. This is a big decision.
So basically,
Oh, he's going with the 49ers.
so
That's who he's taking this week.
All right. So basically, I'm doing the calculations. This might not be like great to listen to, but okay, I'm doing my calculations, man. All right. So I know who Mike's going to go with. If I pick the opposite in the other one, I'm basically going after Mike,
Yes,
right?
Basically,
Because unless you're picking the same thing as
and then
Mike,
you have to pick the different whoever I
the
pick
Super,
in the Super Bowl,
if it all works out, like the two teams
Yeah.
I pick wins,
or vice versa.
and the Super Bowl happens, whoever Mike picks in the Super Bowl, and I'd only be a game behind Mike, then whoever Mike picks, I'd have to do the opposite. So I can choose to go after Mike, basically. All right, I'm going to side with you guys and pick the Falcons, which only means that I'm going to pick the Patriots on the other side.
Wow,
Wow.
I like how you just came out with that right off the.
All right, I'm going last. Who you got in the AFC?
I just told everyone basically who you had. But okay, well.
I got Pittsburgh.
All right, nice. I got 2 chances. Nice.
I got Pittsburgh. I think they're going to go in there and they're going to win.
God, I almost want to change my mind now so I can get one up on Hogan.
I think.
Well, if you do change your mind, then I might change my mind too.
No, I'm sticking with
Pittsburgh's
Pittsburgh.
defense is good.
Yeah.
Patriots
Good
are battling
enough, yeah.
injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of slated for a Pittsburgh upset there.
Yeah.
In Foxborough there.
I think Brady's, Brady's Brady, but I think he's coming to the end, even though he wants to play another 6-7 years. I don't think he's got it.
I don't think he's coming. My point earlier was just that if I had to pick one for Sunday, I still think Brady's got a lot left in him.
Yeah.
Right.
But I see where you're going. But yeah, so wow, all right. I guess that was it for our picks, right?
Well, we should probably have someone like say something good about the Patriots, right?
Yeah, it's true.
I know
It's
Mike.
Bill
I know
Belichick.
Mike feels like no.
Their balls are.
I guess I'll
fully
explain. Well, I'll
inflated.
go with the Patriots now.
Yeah,
Apparently, you guys are both picking the Steelers.
Going to the Patriots.
Besides having having a chance not to come in last in our picks, picking the Patriots. Listen, who's the best player on? And this is hard. It's a hard question to answer. But who is the best player on the Steelers? I'm curious to you guys. Offensively,
Bell.
that's not Roethlisberger. Bell.
Le'Veon Bell.
I'll say Bill too.
Le'Veon Bell. He's going to take Le'Veon Bell out of the game because that's what Bill Belichick does. He takes the best player on the other teams out of the game. Now it's going to be up to Mr. Facebook over there and Ben Roethlisberger.
But
Mr. Facebook Live. Antonio Brown's going to have a huge game in this game. He's going to have to redeem himself for being,
here's my
childish
thing.
and immature.
They can shut down Bell.
All they want.
They can shut down Brown, but they can't shut them both down at the same time. I don't think it's possible. If they shut down Brown, Bell goes off.
I
If they
disagree.
shut down Bell,
I
Brown
think they
goes
could
off.
shut. For the whole game, for the whole 60 minutes, I agree with you. But for a good portion of that game, the window to win that game is going to probably come on the defense, I think, for Steelers. It's going to be, can the defense stop
They got to
that
get in Brady's
offense?
face. They have to
Right.
get in Brady's face. It's been proven. If you rattle Brady,
I think there's going to be at least
Well,
3 or 4 maybe like drives where Bell and Brown, and it's going to be up to guys like like Rodgers and Sammy Coates,
Rodgers.
Jesse James.
Yeah, Jesse James.
but here's the thing. Do you think,
Hayward.
Fitzgerald
truthfully, Malcolm Butler can stop Antonio Brown?
For the entire, like I said, 60 minutes? No.
I don't.
That's why I said
think
that's
they
why I
have
said
to
he's going to
go-
take Bell out
You
of the
probably
game
feel
more
more
than
confident though that you at least have a pretty great corner going against Antonio all game.
I don't think Butler can stop him.
Oh, I don't think anyone can.
And Malcolm
But I
Butler,
think he
don't
can
get me
slow him
wrong,
down.
he's a good corner. I'm not going
Yeah.
to say great, but he's a good corner.
Here's why.
It's just tough to stop Brown.
Why I still go with Steelers. They lost 26-7 early in the season with Landry Jones.
It was a close game too.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell had 21 carries, 81 yards. He still had 10 receptions for 68 yards. New England has trouble facing a running back out of the backfield that can catch the ball. Le'Veon Bell can do that. He can line up. I know Bill Belichick's a genius. I love the guy. I think he's, I love how he outsmarts the entire NFL every year, and I know a lot of people don't like that.
Scary.
But you
Yep.
got him going off for that, and then Antonio Brown still in that game had like 5 receptions for 80 yards. I know that was a while ago, but that was with Landry Jones. You can't stop Le'Veon Bell then, or Antonio Brown then. I think you're going to have a hard time doing it with Ben Roethlisberger.
He's going to whip
now.
something up to stop Bell. That's why I think it's going to be all up to Roethlisberger and Brown.
In my DraftKings blog, it goes into this. I think Julian Edelman throws 1 touchdown pass Sunday.
That's how they get. That's why they won the first Super Bowl, their last Super Bowl.
Yep,
Can we
against the
talk
Ravens.
about? Can we talk about one thing really quick though? How Des Bryant and Tony Romo have the same amount of touchdown passes this year. That's really sad.
Well, I mean,
Just saying.
it's one thing if Romo was actually playing all 16 games and that was true, but
Still pretty sad
what's the sad part about it?
that Des Bryant actually threw a touchdown.
All right, so we got a new segment to introduce here.
Oh, I'm excited.
All right, you're listening to the Sittin Sportside podcast right here on 1045theteam.com.
I'd bet the ranch.
All right, here we go. Pretty good intro, I think.
Yeah,
I
it was
like
awesome.
it. I might like that more than an intro.
Hey,
Show.
can't wait, bro. Come on.
All right. So the first question we got on this board, right? Okay. New NFL coaches. That's the biggest thing right now. And I think the theme of it was kind of young guys, unproven coordinators. And we've seen that before in the NFL, but I just felt like you had a lot of veterans up for it this year. Like you were like, oh, where's Coughlin going to go? And others like that. Well, they went young. They didn't decide to pay. Like, remember we were talking about the Broncos and like, are they going to bring in someone experienced because the team is ready to win now?
Yeah.
No, they bring in Vance Joseph, the Broncos. The Rams bring in Sean McVay, the youngest head coach in NFL history. Sean McDermott to the relatively local New York State Buffalo Bills.
Boo.
And the former Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator, who was, I guess, probably the perennial favorite to get that Bills job, he goes to San Diego, replaces Mike McCoy as that head
I think
coach.
that was the smartest move.
Now, here's the question: will at least one of those 4 guys I just mentioned be employed by that same team as the head coach in 3 years? Would you bet the ranch that statement is true?
You know, out of the 3 of them, I think, or the 4 of them, I think Anthony Lynn's got the best chance of still having a job. Because I think San Diego's the most put together.
Maybe we call him LA now? Did
Oh,
I say San
sorry.
Diego too? I don't remember.
Sorry, the LA wannabe Chargers that are stealing Dodgers logo. And come on, really? But yes,
Yeah.
I think the Chargers.
Yeah, I think it's hard to argue that, but then again, Philip Rivers' name has been being thrown out there. And once you start getting rid of the guy who would be the quarterback, which I don't know if it's going to happen, but you know, does Lynn want to bring in Tyrod Taylor? Are you guys thinking that's like he wants to bring in Tyrod Taylor to continue what he had been building before? Is that why he didn't go back to the Bills? Isn't that an interesting question to think about? Like the Bills, we obviously know Bills didn't want to pay Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
Anthony Lynn didn't get the job in Buffalo. Might mean he might have had a little tete-a-tete, if you will, with management. And I want to keep Tyrod Taylor, pay him, guys. And they're like, well, we just didn't play him in Week 17 because we didn't want to pay him. Maybe he wants to bring him in. That means Philip Rivers might get traded.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a
And so-
possibility.
We live in a 3-and-out league, right?
So
We really do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bet the ranch just because I don't think that I'm
Can I
going
bet
to have
half
a job.
the ranch?
can you?
Yeah. You want to just bet the cows?
How about, actually, can I just bet half a bottle of ranch dressing?
Sure. Sure. A little Hidden Valley.
Ranch.
Hidden Valley ranch
so
dressing?
so you.
What if we got that? What if we got them to sponsor us?
Oh, there we go.
That'd be nice. A little bit
See?
of change in
It's
the
a Sittin
pocket.
Sportside podcast sponsored by Hidden Valley.
Well, we
That's
can't
a
say
disclaimer.
that. That's a
So
disclaimer.
we're not actually sponsored by him.
We might though eventually here.
Hopefully, maybe. We love you guys.
What do you think, Hogs? what do you think, Hogs? What do you think about this question?
I gotta tell you,
statement?
I
Would you
would.
bet the ranch?
I would bet the ranch on Sean McVay.
Okay.
I think
Because all you need is one.
he's young.
All you need is one to stay there.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. Yeah. So I'm betting the ranch because I think he's young enough, and I think ownership's got to realize they're a young team in a pretty hard division. You know, they got
Right,
the
right.
Seahawks, but also the Cardinals are getting older. Carson Palmer's
True.
on his way out.
True.
They're going to be quarterback searching. Who knows who they're going to get? Who knows if they're going to go through a time period where they're drafting quarterbacks and trying to figure out or bringing in different ones.
Could turn into the
49ers are a
Jets.
mess. We don't know what they're going to be
That's
like.
an understatement.
And then the Seahawks, I mean, we've seen it. I'm not saying they're completely on the decline, but they are slightly, right? So, yeah, I think
If we added,
he's that young. You're going to have to give him more than 1 or 2 years,
Mike,
right?
would
I
your
think with Goff, he's going to help because I think Goff's going to be okay. They just got to build that team around him.
You have him, Cooper. I mean, not Cooper. Well, yeah, actually, there's the Cooper, the wide receiver there. What's his name? The rookie they just drafted last year. The only reason I could recognize him is from Hard Knocks.
I have
Okay.
no idea.
You guys should watch it, even though it's way past.
I watched-
But him, Gurley.
I watched one episode. I
Yeah,
think,
but
They got to do something.
They're
with
young.
Kayvon Austin.
but not the wide receiver that got cut because he was, had a girl pass
I saw
up
that.
in the room.
That wasn't him. But no, I think he's a young coach. I think that, did they just bring in Wade Phillips?
Yes, he did for defensive coordinator.
I think
For
they're
that
gonna be
reason
on the
alone,
uprise.
I would agree with you that is the best chance, but I just wouldn't bet the ranch. Mike,
Yeah.
would your opinion change possibly if we include Kyle Shanahan in this going to San Francisco, if that ever comes official?
No. You want to know why?
Because you don't.
Because he's going to
Francisco.
San Francisco, and
Yeah.
San Francisco's a mess.
And you don't think they can rebuild that under Shanahan? And
I don't think anybody. I don't think
What
anybody
about the
can rebuild
Jaguars?
that team.
I did not include the Jaguars because they kept Doug Marrone.
Yeah, that's true.
And because
That's a
I
good
had
point.
a different question about the Jacksonville Jaguars that we'll move into,
And
segue
Doug
into
Marrone
here.
is not a good coach.
You want me to bring it up, or you got
You
it?
got it,
want
man.
Me?
Let's
All
do
right,
it.
so we got Tom
You segue.
Coughlin.
The answer is Farrell Cooper. By the way,
I can't.
Pharrell Cooper.
No, it's Farrell. Just saying. I looked it up.
Disclaimer: we still don't know. Tom Coughlin's now the executive vice president with the Jaguars. So he's back home. He's back where he belongs, like I said.
Yeah.
All right. Will he lead the Jags to an AFC title game? Would you bet the ranch on that in the next?
You know what? It depends how many years. Because he didn't take a head coaching position, I think it's a good amount of years. So I would bet the ranch that we see the Jacksonville Jaguars in an AFC title game. I'm not saying they're going to win it and get to the Super Bowl, but this team is ready, in my opinion, to explode. Jalen Ramsey might be the best corner in a couple years.
That defense is so good.
So
it's talented, at least.
Right, exactly. And Doug Marrone's an offensive guy. I mean, we saw what Doug Marrone did in Buffalo.
Can Blake Bortles be that bad?
No.
You know
what offensive mind was? I mean, I can't. I'm not a Jaguars expert. My friend is, but I'm not.
You already have a stud wide receiver there too.
They didn't bring in Chip Kelly. They almost did.
Chip, hey,
they did it, Mike.
He's not gone yet, right? He hasn't gone anywhere yet, has he? Chip?
I don't think anybody's desperate enough for him.
There's gonna be a team that gets him, and my prediction's still up there that he goes to the Patriots, but that's not
that can't
here
happen.
or there.
And what's he gonna do? Nobody left.
He'll leave. That's my prediction.
Between now and this year,
he will.
Where's he gonna go?
He'll find somewhere. He'll find a home.
Would you bet the ranch?
I'm not gonna bet the ranch.
Can I just say, if Chip Kelly ends up as the Jets offensive coordinator, I will burn everything I own. That
just do it, man. Because guess what? You're having a new offensive coordinator next year, regardless. And Chip Kelly will probably be actually. You know what?
Chip Kelly will find a home as an offensive coordinator.
We're completely off the topic here, but Mike, let me tell you this.
I think Todd Bowles punches him.
Well, Mike, look at me in the eye right now, okay? The New York Jets in 2017. That offensive coordinator is in 2018. It's going to be different, regardless of who it is. And I would take a chance on Chip Kelly than some Joe Schmo who's like the quarterback's coach.
What if I told you I applied for the offensive coordinator position? I had an interview this week.
Dude, you know what?
I'm sorry, I still take Chip.
Make a Wish Foundation. I'll make it happen for you because guess what? Todd Bowles probably not going to have a job in 2018 as the Jets head coach.
Wrong answer. He will. Jets are going 12-4 next year.
Are you betting the ranch on this?
With what offensive coordinator, man?
Me.
And with what quarterback?
You.
I can't argue with that.
Not Christian Hackenberg.
Yeah, would you bet the ranch on that? 12-4. All right.
Actually, I will. You know what? I will. My Jets will finish 12-4 this year with Eric Handman as their quarterback, and I.
This took a derail.
Anyways, no. But
answer your question. Answer the question about Tom Coughlin. Do you think this team is?
I think they can.
They can. Okay.
It's kind of tough. I don't know if I'm willing to bet the ranch on it, but I think he's smart enough to know what to do with that team. That he can say, okay, he can get the right personnel in there. Now, whether or not he's still there
when they do it
is another story.
Okay.
I think he can put the right people in place, but he might not be there long enough to see it happen.
All right, Hogan?
I thought I was going to say yes. I thought I was going to bet the ranch, but now I'm not. I got Marcus Mariota. I think Marcus Mariota is going to get better. That division isn't good right now, but they have quarterbacks in that league, in that division, that are franchise quarterbacks. Him, Andrew Luck. The Texans proved they can win with Brock Osweiler. So, I think they're going to improve, but AFC title game, I don't think they're ever going to make it to that. To be honest, you have, with Andrew Luck there, Marcus Mariota, you're taking on two quarterbacks that are franchise quarterbacks, in my opinion. I think Marcus Mariota proved it this year before his injury that he's good enough to lead his team.
I think this division is going to go from worst to first in a.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like the Texans
here.
could come in last next year in that division.
It sounds ridiculous in a way, but it's 100% true.
Unless Adrian Peterson goes there.
Right, and I think that unfortunately,
the Giants.
I'm a big supporter of Andrew Luck on the Colts, as I kind of exemplified earlier in this podcast. But I think that they might come in. They'd probably be favored more to come in last now, unless they get some more pieces.
Yeah, they need to fix that offensive line, especially and that defense. God.
All right.
Next.
Let's go next.
All right, guys. Bet the ranch. Zeke Elliott will be the best running back in the NFL next year.
Can you make the argument he's the best running back in the NFL this year?
You could.
No.
But I'm not going to say he is.
Right, because that's tough. Because outstanding rookie year, definitely led the league in rushing.
Oh, yeah.
Now here's the question about this question, and it was I think I wrote this question, so I'm kind of picking apart my own. I'm picking apart my own question here, but like Zeke Elliott, or best running back in the league. Is that up to because I could think it's David Johnson, you could think it's Le'Veon Bell. It's kind of a hard thing to answer, because if I bet the ranch on it, who's telling me if I'm right or not, right? But I will bet the ranch and say that he will be the best running back next year because I think he's just going to get a little better. But you know what? I'm thinking about this. I'm changing a little bit here because I don't know what's going to go happen with his domestic abuse thing.
Well, yeah, that's still coming up.
Right. So he might get suspended going into next year. So how can he be the best running back, like Mike said? So
I don't know. Le'Veon Bell
but you could still be the best running back, I guess. Not as a collective stat wise, but you can be the best running back anyway.
Because you could make the argument Le'Veon Bell was the best running back this year.
I think Le'Veon's the best one in the whole NFL, to be honest with you.
The only, you know what? Just to differ with you, I'm going to say David Johnson. He's the only one that could beat out.
That's close.
David Johnson and Le'Veon Bell are the two I think that could beat out Zeke Elliott next year. But because that offensive line stays intact, I'm gonna bet the ranch. I think Zeke Elliott will build on his tremendous rookie season.
Gosh, I mean this one's tough. I think Le'Veon Bell with a full season is the best running back. And I want to say David Johnson so badly, but I actually think he might regress as that team starts to regress. Mm-hmm. Not like, and it's not due to him either. It's just, it's almost like those Adrian Peterson years where he was really good, but you felt like, gosh, he could actually, like, he could be that much better if the box wasn't stacked, you know? So, yeah, I'm going to go Le'Veon Bell. I think he has the best season. If he's with the Pittsburgh Steelers next year, I don't know.
I don't see him. Honestly,
I don't know.
Pittsburgh's been very. They don't give.
He's
those
a Michigan boy,
out,
right? Is he a Michigan boy?
Yeah.
I think he might go to Detroit.
Michigan State, actually.
What I've heard though.
Well, I mean, like from Michigan, but I know he went to Michigan State. Yeah.
They'll franchise tag Le'Veon Bell. This is just a rumor. They'll franchise tag Le'Veon Bell and they'll sign Antonio Brown to the extension. Because usually they don't do that, especially before the year starts. That's just they're notorious for doing that. He'll probably be there next year. It'll be interesting to see the next year after that, but you never know. Things happen.
No, right?
No,
they're loving
I'm Le'Veon.
Yeah. I think
it's close between him and David Johnson.
It's always going to be close, right? So it's hard to really get a definitive answer on that. But he already led the league in rushing this year. Offensive line stays healthy for Dallas, and he doesn't get suspended. I'm betting the ranch. Next question, and we kind of alluded to this earlier in the broadcast. I guess this is the broadcast. Tom Brady. He'll play at least 3 more years. Would you bet the ranch on Tom Brady sticking to the NFL for 3 full seasons? And I guess that has to be played seasons. So he goes down and he plays 3 more after that. Would he play 3 more years? What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Betting the ranch.
Betting the ranch. Tom Brady's playing 3 more
Chickens,
years.
goats, all that.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Everything. And I love chicken. I eat chicken every day. Ask anyone who knows me. I grill it. Different seasoning.
Nice.
I'm betting any chicken I got. Tom Brady's going to play 3 more years, in my opinion. He's playing at it, even though I ranked him 4th earlier. That's just how elite the quarterbacks are.
Exactly. Still left in today's playoffs.
Yeah, with that system, with Bill Belichick there, it's just a perfect match made in heaven. He doesn't get hit as much. He's playing better now than he did, 7 years ago. Like, and this guy is, 39 now? He's got 3 more years, especially with what we have now in the field of technology and just, in the health field. And how these players are able to recover from things.
James Harrison.
Look at he might be one of my favorite players in the NFL, but also one of my most feared individuals of all time.
Oh man, no, yeah, I wouldn't want to get.
I fear him, but I respect him. No, but Tom Brady, 3 more years. Yeah, I bet the ranch completely. What do you got, Mike? Who do you think?
What
do you think?
Is Mike watching Netflix over there?
Yeah, I am actually.
What?
No, I agree. I think Brady's got at least 3.
At least 3, tantalizing the Jets, unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
You know what?
Unless somebody breaks his leg.
3 more years of
Pittsburgh, please.
I mean, I have a hard time with this because I agree with you guys, but retirements come out of left field sometimes. He's mentally saying he's gonna play more, but what if I feel like something might break his soul in the next couple of years, Whether it could be the Jets or something that happens personally, I don't know. I just feel like maybe he might not have that drive to play in a year or 2. I don't know why I just get that feeling. I just do. Maybe I'm playing devil's advocate here.
No, well, 2 years ago, remember that Kansas City game? People were asking if Tom Brady was going to be
right.
The rest of the season started, so
now,
that's a good point.
I think Garoppolo is probably traded after this year or something, whatever, or maybe I think is he free agent? I don't know, but so I'm not sure. One more year. So I'm not sure. You know what? Touche. I mean, in a year, is Garoppolo going to be in that situation where, Belichick might even think, this is my guy. Like, I really do like Jimmy Garoppolo.
Is this an Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre scenario?
That's what I'm thinking.
Is that what you're leading to?
I'm leading to
that. I didn't mean to cut into that, but I just
Yeah,
got so excited thinking about it.
I'm thinking it could be like that. If that's what Belichick really thinks about Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, he was very good in the three games that he played, or
2 games.
2 games.
And then
Brissett played
Jacoby.
twice. Yeah. 2 games. I just think that there could possibly be like that. That doesn't mean he can't play 3 more years, because we didn't say 3 more years with the Patriots. We said 3 more years in this question.
Yeah.
But would Brady not play for the Patriots? I
don't think so.
Right? I mean, but
Yeah,
I didn't think Peyton Manning.
quarterbacks.
Like, you didn't think Favre wasn't going to play with the Packers. I mean, even though he played with the Falcons his first year, but
Played with the Vikings, Jets. I mean, then you got there's
Manning.
other quarterbacks too. It's it happens. A guy wants to keep playing, and
Joe Montana,
it's always one side that doesn't want.
I'm
the
going to
other.
agree with you guys. I'm going to bet the ranch that he plays 3 more years, because that's just kind of who he is mentally. He says he'll do something, he's going to do it. But I just think there could be something that comes up that it's hard to foresee that for sure. But I would probably bet the ranch on Tom Brady for that reason.
Can we go back to the Leonard Fournette will be offensive rookie of the year next year?
Yeah, that's a tough one. See, like that's one that I'm not sure. Should we ask that one?
I got a surprise pick for offensive rookie of the year next year. But if you guys don't want to touch it,
don't fine. Tell me. It's not Piron, is it?
Nope.
Good. All right. So yeah, why don't you introduce that officially, Mike?
All right. Bet the ranch, Hoagie. Eric.
Yes, sir.
Will Leonard Fournette win 2017 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year?
I hate thinking about things like this because it's like you have no idea what
so
he's going to be on.
You hate my segment, don't you?
I know. I love this segment. I think if you hate this, you really love to keep down. You know what? I'm going to bet the ranch. No, I don't have that much confidence. I'm not going to bet it.
Well, here's my thing.
I was going to say yes because if he's got the injury concerns though. I get it.
Right.
But he's explosive. He looks like the best, in my opinion, the best running back. And we've seen Zeke. I know he went to the Cowboys, but he finds himself on a good team, good offensive line. There's no reason why he can't find success.
I'm gonna agree in that I believe like he's been as someone who likes LSU and supports LSU football program. This guy has been holding something back. He's not going. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about the guy, but he was basically like, you know what? This kid Darius Geis, who's a year younger than me, he's pretty explosive. I think he can. Like, I think he can handle the stuff without me. I don't need to risk myself in playing, in the bowl game and even in some important games down the stretch. I know he wanted to play. I feel like I think
it was a smart move, truthfully.
Right. I think it's hard to always put that on the player, because I remember him getting it was the Florida game that they were playing Florida. He got in some altercation at the beginning during pregame, and he told the coaches that he wanted to play in that game, but they didn't let him play. So I don't know. So maybe his injuries were more serious than I'm kind of like mentally thinking. I just thought that maybe he kind of was like just saving himself. He's saving himself for the NFL. So the injury issues aren't as drastic because of the fact that I think he played through them in the NFL. But they're still there because we don't know for sure. We're not with him and know what he's thinking mentally about his injuries and whether maybe it is a mental thing. Maybe he doesn't know if he can play with that injury. That being said, Dalvin Cook's a pretty good running back himself to have a possibility at it. And then look how about players coming out of left field like a Dak Prescott this year. So there are those possibilities, and Deshaun Watson might be the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills.
Somebody you're not naming.
I think
naming.
Oh, Mitch Trubisky. Just kidding.
No.
I'm betting the ranch because Fournette's my guy. But also too, shout out Darius Geis, like I mentioned earlier, probably going to win Heisman next year. All right, guys, you're up, Mike.
I'm gonna take the guy that rightfully won the Heisman this year. Oh wait, just kidding. He won't. He's not coming out.
Oh, that's a shot at Hogan. Man. Come on, you don't have to remind our listeners about that.
Listen, Michael Pineda.
Hey, don't hate next year when he wins.
What's worth, a brain fart or actually believing Michael Pineda's going to win the AL Cy Young?
He's going to win the AL Cy Young. I'm telling you.
We can't prove that
right.
yet. You're right.
Well, now it's. I was going to say mine, but now that you're still like full on that train, I'm going to say yours.
Telling you. All right, so I'm not gonna bet the ranch on Fournette. You know who I'm gonna bet the ranch on? D. Westbrook.
Ooh.
Baby. That's right.
The
guy who arguably is, other than Baker Mayfield, had any shot of ever beating oh my God, Lamar Jackson for the Heisman last year. Yeah. D.D. Westbrook.
Yep.
It's a tough one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can see it. But remember, I remember when people thought Laquan Treadwell would be like something in the NFL. I'm not saying. I know it's
early.
It's different. It's different. No, but I'm talking about his rookie season.
Yeah.
Still early. I agree. But you know what? I'm sticking with my homer and Leonard Fournette. You're going with your homer. One of your homers in D.D. Westbrook. And Hogan agrees with me, I guess.
Yeah.
We got one last bet the ranch.
One last one.
And the music has died down. It's kind of bumming me out now because that music was sick. But
maybe this signifies someone is dying down. Drew Brees.
I like
Brees?
that.
Oh,
I
okay.
like that.
Is
Nice
he dying
segue.
down? Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the question here is, or the statement here is, that Drew Brees will end up the best statistical quarterback of all time. That is what we're talking about right now. Would you bet the ranch? And I guess there's certain statistics that may outweigh the others. I'm talking career TDs, career passing yards, and all that. Talking about how many years Tom Brady will play. Well, Drew Brees is kind of talked about his sentiment of playing a long time, and he's a few years younger than Brady, about 3 or 4 years
Yes,
younger.
I believe it's.
I think he's only 2, actually.
True?
I think he's
Okay.
36 or 37.
He's
So
37.
it's around
that's
2 or
weird.
3.
So yeah, would you bet the ranch that Drew Brees will retire at the moment he retires? That he's the best statistical quarterback of all time. Obviously, could get passed by a future quarterback.
Oh, wow.
But
Absolutely.
at the time he's retired,
Hands
he's
down.
the quarterback.
He's only a year younger, actually.
Oh wow.
Is he
I
38?
thought it was 2. Yeah. Thought it was 37.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
Wow. But
With that being said, I still think he will. I'll bet the ranch on that. I mean, he's already in the top. I mean, it's hard not to say he won't. I mean, you got to expect he's going to throw 30 touchdowns a year, right? Say he does. Say he plays for 3 more years. That's 90 touchdowns.
yeah,
Okay. 90 touchdowns. Peyton Manning leads with 539. He's at 465. So maybe he doesn't catch Peyton, but that puts him second. He's got a Super Bowl.
He's only 6,000 yards away from being number 1 in passing yards.
You know he's going to break that. I mean,
2 years for him.
I'll bet the ranch. I'll bet the ranch on that too, obviously. And yeah, I think he's got a real chance of doing it. And if he could ever add another Super Bowl somehow, God, that would just make it even statistically a second Super Bowl. But he's also another quarterback. I guess I could see him not finishing with the Saints his career.
Did you
I
know
can see
he's
that too.
the Only
Yeah.
quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards 5 times. Nobody has more than 1.
He's amazing. And that's why he will. And I'll bet the ranch. Goodbye, chickens.
Real quick
I'll see you
here
soon.
for my fellow Jets fan, the best career with at least 1,500 attempts completion percentage, Chad Pennington.
Chatty P!
Ed Pennington.
Hey, you
Jeez.
know what's cool? The only game I've ever been to, they put Wayne Corbett in the Ring of Honor. Just saying.
Nice.
Wayno.
So what do you think?
I agree.
Fellow horse
I
owner,
agree.
Wayne
Because
Corbett.
the offense that he plays in, like you said, he might go switch teams. Like I said, I could see it. Because I could also see Sean Payton maybe leading New Orleans. I don't know. I mean, he hasn't done it. He's had probably opportunities to do it.
Could Dee Breezy come to the Jets, you think?
That's tough. I don't know. I think the other Chargers quarterback has a
He's
better
more
chance
realistic.
this year right now. Phil Rivers getting traded to
I
the
hate
Jets.
you, Eric.
Why don't they just do a swap? Philip Rivers for Drew Brees.
That'd be interesting.
Bring
No,
Drew Brees back home.
He goes back and
Yeah,
No,
win a Super
but-
Bowl
but
there.
They
yeah.
wouldn't be home because they'd be in L.A.
So
oh man, I mean, I get that point. I do get that point, but get back home with that franchise,
Guys,
Like,
my phone's
'cause-
struggling.
but
There's
here-
no Chargers in
Here's the thing, though,
San
Mike.
Diego.
Back real quick just to kind of debunk what you just said. They said that the Rams basically went home to LA, while none of those guys were on that for original LA Rams. So,
Yeah, but
and actually, the first year of the Chargers, I believe, was in LA as well.
yeah,
Not that Drew Brees played on that team. Anyway, yes, Drew Brees, the offense that he plays in with Sean Payton and got the weapons. Young Michael Thomas, obviously, like you said, Brandon Cooks, and maybe even maybe even other weapons that come in. I think the worst thing they did was let Darren Sproles go because he was a huge weapon in that
forget
backfield.
Mark Ingram too.
Well, yeah, Mark Ingram, yeah. We can name all of them, but like I said, no matter who, no matter like who it is, basically what I'm saying. Like there's always gonna be weapons for him in a Sean Payton offense. And I think that's gonna continue to help him. And I just looked at the numbers, and maybe because I thought Drew Brees was younger
I thought so too. I thought
maybe
he was
that's
around
why I was
36,
like,
37.
wow, this guy's gonna like so much like
Yeah.
break all these records because he's already done this and already done that.
I definitely thought he was 36 or 37.
Yeah.
But the reason why Tom Brady won't be because of the offense he plays in because Bill Belichick, it's more game plan rather than like Drew Brees. Just he's gonna go out and let Drew Brees. Sean Payton's gonna let Drew Brees do what Drew Brees does best, and that's pass the football.
What do you think? Would you bet the ranch on it, Mike?
On Breeze?
Yeah, being the best statistical quarterback.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only thing I see him not getting is maybe touchdowns.
He doesn't have 2 Super Bowls.
Oh, he's more than elite.
But I don't know. I mean, I've heard people say that.
I hate that argument.
I don't know. I just
Football
Dan
is
Marino's
such a-
not elite, right? Because he never won. But what?
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Matt Ryan's elite, whether he loses this Sunday or not. I think Matt Ryan's elite.
Every one of these sports where elite comes in,
No,
it's a team sport. I get it. They can elevate their team to the next level. I get it. They have a big part of it. But God, they're not the only ones.
right.
I hate it. I hate hearing it. It's ridiculous. Like if Brett Favre didn't win that Super Bowl, would he not be elite?
If John Elway didn't win those last 2 on his swan song, right?
That's exact. Imagine if Eli didn't win those 2 Super Bowls on those.
Well, yeah. If Eli did win the 2 Super Bowls,
I'm not even saying he's elite now, but would he even be in the
he
conversation?
would. Would he
Yeah,
even
I like Eli.
Would he even be the quarterback of the New York Football Giants?
Probably not.
Probably, yeah, there's no
He
shot.
probably would have been gone years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is sad. But
It
yeah,
is. It
it's
is.
a good point. He would actually. New
Right.
York is not accepting of that.
No. Speaking of quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls, Brad Johnson, right? The Buccaneers.
Oh my God.
He
Hey.
admitted. I think he admitted after the Deflategate something about like he had people like get the right PSI in his footballs.
You ever think sometimes they just do that to like get back in the
Yeah,
like I haven't
maybe.
been here for a while, so
True.
let's see what's going on.
I kind of want to touch on something.
We talk about how Trent Dilfer's won a Super Bowl too.
Yeah, no,
That's
Trent
big of a
Dilfer. I
joke
mean,
that is.
Well, that's
He beat the Giants, yeah.
That's exactly though. I'm not saying Trent Dilfer was horrible, but
He didn't beat the Giants.
He's
That
not
defense
better
beat the
than-
Giants.
well, he's not better than
So
some of these
Eli Manning
quarterbacks.
didn't
haven't.
beat the Patriots. The defense beat the Patriots.
They did.
Okay,
It was a team effort.
the team effort. I
That's
don't know.
my thing.
So
I
the
can't
defense,
only
the defense
give it
made
to-
the throw to Plaxico Burress to go up 17.
The only time I could ever say that a defense like carried a team like to that point,
86 Bears.
not even that Bears. The other Bears when they lost the Super Bowl to Peyton Manning with
Oh,
Rex
yeah,
Grossman.
yeah.
Oh my god! You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
only one I could really think of
The
recently.
original RG3.
Yeah, it's like
He's actually Rex Grossman the third.
Rex Grossman the third, man.
How crazy is that?
Both careers ended pretty much the same,
They both
Yeah.
suck.
unfortunately.
Something I want to touch on is this spring football league.
Oh, with the retired players.
The retired players. They're doing that with basketball too, with the 3-on-3 tournament. But I was stick with football, and I heard guys like Johnny Manziel and Vince Young were invited to be in this league. I hope Jamarcus Russell has as well, because I have this like affinity in my heart for Jamarcus Russell. As much as people are going to be like,
No,
like Stephen
they
A.
can play.
Smith. To quote
Can
Stephen
we
A.
drug test Eric Hanman for this, please?
To quote Stephen A. Smith, that
Who's an
fat,
idiot?
slobbering, no good, lazy bum of a quarterback.
Stephen A. really went in on him.
Yeah.
He
God.
loves himself some Jamarcus Russell.
Oh man.
I mean, that's in
Jabba
the
the
spring,
Hutt.
right? That they're planning on having
Yeah,
that?
and I really hope that
Which is awesome.
I really hope that he, not even him, just Vince Young, guys who they're like, I'm too good for the CFL. Take advantage of these things.
Oh yeah, you have to bring Tim Tebow back. Stop playing
But
baseball.
Tebow's just as guilty of it. He didn't want to go to the CFL
Oh, yeah.
either. So like, I just let these guys compete in a league where they kind of like how you have the development league for basketball,
Yeah.
which people might think that's a joke, but I think it's like it'll show you if a guy's good enough or not. Because if he's dominating that league, he's probably able to. I
mean, look
don't know
at-
if you guys know Jordan McVay went off in the D League. He ended up on the Cavaliers' final roster, won a championship.
Look at the guy from the Heat.
Tyler Johnson.
No. The center there.
Oh, Hassan
Whiteside?
Whiteside.
Yeah, didn't he start out in the D League? If I'm not mistaken.
He started out with Memphis, but I think he worked his way during the D League.
I was
Yeah,
thinking his name was Noah. Where was he? Oh, no, never mind.
yeah. I mean, he can't. He was, So yeah,
So I mean, it's nice to have this. It's almost
Right.
like a tryout to show them before, preseason
Exactly.
starts. Like, hey, this guy could.
people don't
be
take
on
you
a
seriously in the
roster.
preseason either for whatever reason. Like Vince Young, didn't he have a really good preseason with the Packers?
Yeah, there's teams that have.
And-
Yeah, Vince Young actually did do pretty well.
and no one took him.
It's almost like just like a tryout, basically,
Right.
in the sense of, maybe we could put you in a roster, and then maybe we could trade you, or maybe if we
Because
really need
at
to
the end of the
resort to
day,
it.
Vince Young's out there, and the Jets still drafted Christian Hackenberg with that second round pick. That GM's like, I gotta keep my second round pick. I'm not gonna keep Vince
Yeah.
Young after over a guy that I just a younger guy,
Which
obviously.
is sad because if Vince Young gives you the best chance to win, and
Right,
he's
exactly.
still not What is he? Probably 30 now.
Yeah, he's definitely up there now.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you give
He
a
was
guy
on the
like
cover
that
of
shot.
Madden 08.
Oh man,
So he's
What an
definitely getting
all-turn.
up there.
or
So he's in
he
his
was awesome.
30s.
Very fun
Yeah,
to watch.
definitely 30 something. But he's
I'll
younger
never
than
forget
Tom.
that
Younger than
championship
Tom
winning
Brady.
run to beat the hated Pete Carroll Trojans.
That team that got vacated.
Yeah, there you go.
Huh? And yeah, I'm gonna go
Hey,
to the
there's-
NFL now.
There's a Reggie Bush go there now. That's his career came. I mean, this season he barely touched the ball with the Bills.
Yeah.
He might be trying to find a way into a line. I think it's a great idea. Happy to
30?
do it.
Oh yeah.
3.
It's a better idea, I think, than the 3-on-3 tournament in basketball. If you want to because that's literally the description of that league is 35 or older guys who played in the NBA. So it's
Yeah.
not like Allen Iverson's like, you know what? Okay, I'm going to come back and I'm going to try to show that I can play in the
Yeah,
NBA. It's just washed up veterans. Like
How competitive do you think
you
they're
can
gonna
listen
be,
to my
too?
board out minutes sometimes on the live stream.
Yeah.
But I touched on it there when I said basically, if I really want to see a high level of pickup 3-on-3 basketball in the half court, I'll head over to Rucker Park, maybe take a trip down to New York City, or maybe just go to my local Y. Not saying that my Y guys, but what I'm saying, basically what I'm trying to say, that's what it's going to be.
They're
it's
not
going to
going to be
like
competitive.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
It's not
going
gonna
to be a showboating kind of thing.
And so I know it's going to be cooler because you got the legends. You know,
Yeah.
you're going to have these guys that you really want to see because they played in the NBA. But a higher level of basketball might not even be that.
who started it? actually?
Street ball will probably be more entertaining.
Who started it, by the way?
Ice Cube is like part
Ice
of it.
Cube, right?
He's not like he's not just him. He's part of
But
a
he's
group.
like one of the founders.
He's part of the founders. Yeah.
Okay, yep. That's what I thought. That's what I
Can
figured.
we make an interesting point on since we're talking Vince Young? Let's look at that 2006 NFL draft.
How about Vince Young gets no credit for taking over an 0-6 team and almost leading to the playoffs?
Yeah,
Everyone forgets that, right?
What? You only remember what they did for me
but
recently.
let's take a look at that 2006
I know.
draft.
Yeah,
Top 10
unfortunately.
picks.
I got retweeted by Vince Young by basically I don't know
He's
the
your boy.
right term, but I was just tweeted at him like, yeah, no one remembers that, man, and he's like, retweet.
It's okay. Tim Kirchin followed me.
Did he stop following you after he heard you thought Michael Pineda was going to win?
Oh, yeah, don't
He
let him
agreed
hear
with
that.
me, actually.
Don't let him hear that.
No way.
Disclaimer: he didn't.
Oh man! Next time Zach Bye and Roger Wild talk to him, I'll tell him to ask if that's
That's a question that's
All right, that's
irrelevant.
Yeah, that's irrelevant. But anyways, so all right, I want to look at this. Since we're talking Vince Young, 2006 NFL draft. Houston took Mario Williams first overall.
Oh, I remember this draft. Like, okay, let me just
Out of the league.
Let me just say this before you keep going. I know this draft not like so well. Like you name the first 32 picks like a Draymond Green-esque list off all the name the players, but I know it pretty well because I had that game head coach. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And that was the draft.
That game was sick.
You got to use that draft So I just know this draft a lot. I know Matt Leinart. You're going to talk about Jay Cutler. You're going to talk about Maurice Jones-Drew, Leon Washington, all these guys in this draft.
All right,
Anyway,
here we go.
ahead.
Reggie Bush, 2, pretty much out of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Vince Young, out of the NFL. DeBrickashaw Ferguson, retired. So out of the NFL. AJ Hawk, out of the NFL.
He's got his own show, by the way.
Vernon Davis.
Podcast.
Not as good as this one.
No.
Yeah, no way. Vernon Davis, still in the NFL. Michael Huff, out of the NFL. Dante Hittner is still in the NFL.
Matt Leinart out of the NFL. Was he on NFL Network now?
Ernie Sims,
Yeah.
out of the NFL. Leinart, out of the NFL. Let's be serious. Jay Cutler should be out of the NFL.
How many years we're talking though? You're talking 06 draft. For a lot of these players, I mean, their life is 8 years. So some of them make sense,
Yeah, that's
But can we agree that Jay Cutler should be out of the
you're
NFL?
talking about the skill players. Like Reggie Bush could still be in the league. Vince Young could still be in the league.
You would take Jay Cutler on your... Are you drunk out of
If
your
I was
mind?
see, I think you are, because as a Jets fan, I'd take Jay Cutler
The guy
and
is the
praise
biggest
for him.
sissy I've ever seen in my life.
See, I hate
I
that.
hurt my knee. It's the NFC Championship game. I
Didn't he have
can't
a-
come
wait.
out.
Didn't he have Didn't he have a sprained MCL that game?
It was something.
It's the NFC Championship game. Get your behind out there and go win the game.
Have you ever sprained your MCL?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. And
It
you went out and
hurts
played
like
football?
hell.
Yeah, all right. And you went out and played football?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Where do we separate facts from
Listen,
fiction
yeah.
here?
I hate that argument. There's a reason why he sat out. I'm not saying Jay Cutler's the best leader.
Oh no!
He's a sissy.
You know what it is? In this day of age,
And he's high off his mind all the time.
This is what happens. In this day of age, people always revert back. Oh, back in the 70s and 80s, like they would have ran back out there and played. Yeah, because they had no idea what they were going to do to their bodies.
Yeah, true.
Okay,
but Cutler, no.
If they're now you're thinking, okay, if they're standing up on the sideline and they don't look like they're in pain, they should be in the game. Little do they know that he's shot up with painkillers. He okay to be right there.
Rex Grossman replaced him in that game.
No, it was. I'll look at it. Cause I was trying to think of it. I know it was some guy.
Wasn't like Jimmy Clausen.
It was like it started with an H, I believe, the last name.
But I mean,
CH is the initials. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
You would definitely take Jay Cutler now.
No.
Jay Cutler or Ryan Fitzpatrick?
No, Fitzpatrick.
What? Why?
What do you mean? Why?
Jay Cutler or Bryce Petty?
Bryce Petty.
There's no. Stop.
Nope. Dead serious.
Jay Cutler or
Dead
Christian
serious.
I can't even say his name right now.
You're really gonna throw the Hackenberg at me?
I think I have to because we're
Hackenberg.
No.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes.
To win a game.
Yes. I hate Cutler that much. What part of I can't stand Jay Cutler don't you understand?
He is different from like him being good.
He's not. He's not.
He's one of the best 32. He's one of the top 32 quarterbacks in the league. What? You cannot name 31 quarterbacks better, and don't do it right now.
I can't even name 31 quarterbacks right now. I'm too tired.
But there's Jay Cutler would make that list.
No.
How?
He's not even in my top 20.
I got the initials right. It's Caleb Haney.
Oh, wow.
I forgot about him.
Nice.
But I got the
You had the
right.
initials down.
I think I did, right?
Good memory there.
Oh, nice.
Talk about the
Eric, I need a third person
I kind
perspective.
of heard it, and I heard Hackenberg over Cutler, and
Are you taking Hackenberg over Cutler?
Heck no.
Are you taking Petty over Cutler?
No.
Are you taking Fitzpatrick over Cutler?
Probably not, but I would take Brian Hoyer over Cutler based on...
That's fine.
Right.
So would I.
Listen, that's fine.
I would take Tim Tebow over Jay Cutler. And I hate Tebow.
Now, stop.
Well, who do you take? You take Rivers over him, right?
Cutler?
Rivers over Cutler?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But what about Rivers over the other guy you're talking about?
Who?
Like
Tebow?
Like Hackenberg, Petty.
Oh, yeah.
You weren't.
I take Rivers, but I don't want to. Listen, there's two quarterbacks in the NFL I do not want to see on the Jets. Tony Romo and Jay Cutler.
Who's better, though,
Then
Jay
call up
Cutler or
McHagney.
Bryce Petty? Who would you have more confidence in next year
Bryce
to get you to the
Petty.
playoffs? There's no way. There's absolutely no way you beat
What
that.
do you mean?
And if you're the offensive coordinator,
I
there's
can
no
make-
way you have a job in 2018.
I can make the argument right now. Jay Cutler's proven that he's at least...
He's proven he's a bum, is what he's proven. And I will make sure, I will tweet this to Jay Cutler, make sure he hears this. I'll say, Jay, go to this spot, and I will tell you suck as a quarterback.
I wish I sucked as bad as him. Come
He's
on.
terrible.
Are you serious?
Terrible.
He's got a connection with Brandon Marshall. And this
Listen.
is hypothetical.
I've had this
True,
argument with
man.
Levesque
But
and
Marshall-
Gaz on the air
They kind of had
Marshall
a...
might not, yeah.
that Jay Cutler is terrible.
On the air? Let me pull it from
On
the
the
skimmer.
air.
Oh,
I
man.
don't remember when that was.
Oh, man.
I was on the phone that day.
Oh, like through.
Yeah.
Oh, so you called in.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Would you
When
take
I was working here, too.
Would you take RG3 or Jay Cutler?
yeah.
Kidding me? Can I take neither? Can I take
Well, you got to take one or the other because I need to see this.
neither?
I got to hear it. I got to hear
I'll
one
go-
of the two.
I'll go quarterbackless.
I need to
I will
hear
go
it.
quarterbackless.
I want
You'll
an
throw
answer.
Julian Edelman out
Jay
there?
Cutler or RG3?
Can I throw Bilal Powell out there instead?
Oh, my God. Why?
Because I hate Cutler. That he's terrible.
Hating so... Like, I hated Derek Jeter. But, like, if Derek Jeter was like, you know what, I'm a free agent. Hey, Red Sox.
Yeah, because that would
Offering a
have happened.
contract. No, I'm just saying, though. My point is, I
use-
can hate him,
Can
but I'd want him on my team.
Can I butt in here for a second? I'm not on his side, and I'm not necessarily on your side either. Because when Jacoby
The
Ellsbury was a
outcast.
free agent, it's one of those things where, yeah, I respect the hell out of Jacoby Ellsbury. He just helped the Red Sox win a World Series. He's put up MVP numbers. I think he's a great player. Just don't want him on my Yankees.
That's how I felt about Damon.
I never liked him when he was on the Red Sox.
That's how I felt about Damon.
I guess my argument is more going towards if he's good or not, though. Like, if he's
Right.
better than what you have.
Now, exactly, that's the thing. I thought when that happened, I was like, well, what the heck? Why do we have two Brett Gardners now? Like, why do So that was what I was thinking then.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So I guess the Jay Cutler talk.
Well, yeah, Mike's wrong, and we're gonna end it on that.
I am not wrong.
You're right about one thing, and Jay Cutler, has really disappointed from his draft. But like, you're wrong when you take it to as far as I would 100% take Bryce Petty or 100% take Chris. Like that. That's a little too far in my
I
personal
wouldn't.
opinion.
That's your opinion, but I hate Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
I hate him. I think he sucks. Jay, I hope you listen to this because you suck.
When he played a full season in 2015, 21 touchdowns to 11 interceptions.
Did you see Bryce Petty?
28
in certain
touchdowns to
games?
18. He wasn't that bad.
Who?
If he actually had an
Jay
offensive
Cutler.
line that could keep him on his feet, would he have played that bad?
Same argument for Jay Cutler.
That's true.
His offensive line has been trashed. The dude has been hit.
Kyle Long
Oh
is
my
the best offensive lineman.
gosh. How many times has he been hit in his career?
Well, yeah. Well, maybe
I
we'll
was
get,
not throwing that
He's
at you, by the way.
He's basically, you're making that argument, but it's the same thing happened to Jay Cutler. He hasn't played behind an offensive line that could keep him upright.
All right, guys. Until next week.
yeah, of course. All right, so this has been the Sittin Sportside podcast, and we got some hot takes. I think Mike, in particular, obviously, if you listen to the last 10 minutes of this podcast, or even 5, you heard some pretty hot takes from Mike James. I think he's got some hot takes about the Hall of Fame, and we're going to talk about that next time we get on our podcast. So keep your eyes open for that, as well as our thoughts on the NBA. I don't know if you guys heard of a guy named Russell
Westbrook snubbed.
Yeah, I'm not sure you've heard of Russell Westbrook. He's not doing anything special this year, but I really thought he should have been
Starter.
Well, apparently they haven't because it was the fans that voted.
We'll talk about the fact that yes, the NBA fixed guys like Zaza Pachulia from getting in. Like he would have been in had it just been the fan vote, but it didn't go as far as making sure a guy who averages a triple-double is a starting point guard on the team. So we'll touch on that. And something we never touched upon on this show before, college basketball. I think it's beginning time to get our initial impressions of the seasons. Obviously, it's been going for a couple months. March Madness right around the corner. I'd love to talk about that with you guys next week. So look out for that, guys. And for I am Eric Hanman. For Mike James and Matt Hogan, this has been the Sitting Sportside. Oh, do you want the sitting in there?
We can do sitting.
Well, we can
I
do
don't
it.
know, man. The liner, Rich really messed up on us. Like he gave us the liner with Sitting Sportside. We'll be both.
Yeah,
We'll be
sitting.
both. Sitting
You can
and
say
sitting.
whatever you want. We have nothing. We have no problem with G's. Like we love G's.
We're the real G's here, yo.
Yeah. All right. So it's been the Sittin Sportside podcast right here on ESPN Radio 104.5 theteam.com.
Stay classy.